People across the world are being murdered. Somehow their life being destroyed those who try to build this technology. As they say, only cow's fart contains methane gas, which causes climate change.
You have stolen my dreams.
Fuck off. Not the nuclear weapons, but an efficient solar panel can destroy your country. They believe. What if I tell you that the technologies like free energy, antigravity and teleportation like in UFO is real, and it's not a conspiracy anymore. Rather, it's being hidden through a law and enforcement act of United States, which is known as the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. In the name of the Secrecy Act, people are being murdered, some have their lives being destroyed those who try to build this technology. And it is interesting to see that US have an impact internationally by having a mutual security agreements with various countries regarding the handling of sensitive patents. But those countries which do not have an agreement with US, they have their own laws and regulation enforcement to suppress any invention of advanced technology. So now the question is, at what legal standpoint they are suppressing these patents, and who are those geniuses whose inventions are being suppressed? The short answer is pretending to protect national security, and the long answer starts with a famous man, Nikola Tesla, who was fighting with political propaganda of Thomas Edison in 1884 just to release his invention of alternating current, which is used by all over the world to this date. Once while Tesla was talking about a free energy device which could transmit electricity wirelessly, Thomas Edison made a famous quote by saying, "We cannot sell electricity without meters." Even when Tesla was continuing his project, named as Wardenclyffe Tower, which was for wireless transmission of electricity, financier J.P. Morgan initially invested in the project in 1901, but he pulled out all his funds in 1904 once he realized it might lead to free energy distribution, which could obstruct his business interest. The project was left incomplete and got demolished after 10 years. Then after Tesla's finances were severely affected, so he filed bankruptcy in 1915 due to his ongoing debts. And finally, on 7th January of 1943, Tesla died alone in a hotel room of New York. But that was not the end. Just after the next day of his death, FBI seized all of his research papers from the hotel room through a police agency named as Office of Alien Property. And then FBI claimed that they were protecting national security by seizing Tesla's research papers. Another case during 1930s of Thomas Henry Murray, who invented a device called Murray Radiant Energy Device, just like a zero-point free energy device, which was producing 55 kilowatt of electrical power without any input of electric current. And this was during the 30s, which could be a game changer today. But Murray faced multiple assassination attempts, his family threatened, and several gunshots fired at his house. His laboratory was robbed and wrecked multiple times, like attempting to suppress his research and steal his technology. These hostile attacks created difficulties for Murray to further develop and promote his inventions. Over that, Murray also faced financial difficulties, including bankruptcy, which enabled him to make any further research. And there are also many similar cases. Floyd Sparky Sweet, inventor of the vacuum toroid amplifier, a device which is smaller than a size of cigarette pack, was able to produce 22 kilowatt of power from an input of just 8 milliwatt. And it was during the 80s, which could have run your Electrica today of 2,000 miles without a bulky battery while charging less than a minute. But Floyd was killed in 1990 after surviving from an assassination attempt in his home through a silenced rifle. And again, FBI claimed to protect national security and seized all of his research papers and equipments. A lieutenant colonel who fought in World War II Charles L. Brown, who spent his entire life savings after he retired during the 80s in making a device which was able to reduce the vehicle emission by 50 to 70% by using the same vehicle emission as fuel, which also gave 20 to 40% more range miles per gallon than any usual vehicles.
And out of air, I make it more than just providing oxygen for the combustion process. There are combustion stimulating molecules and radicals generated in this process. Thunderstorm in a bottle.
And guess what? He had his lab vandalized, everything stolen, bomb threats, etc. And it wasn't a free energy device, it wasn't running something from 0 point, it was just giving more efficiency and clean air. But they suppressed it.
Next morning, 6:45, I look out, there's a blank space where my car was. They'd stolen my car. Police recovered it 2 or 3 weeks later. All of my test equipment. I had built a prototype carburetor. That was the last time I ever did that. I'd actually built the thing. And everything was gone. And psychologically, again, it sort of zapped me.
Stanley Meyer, inventor of a car, runs on water by producing hydrogen from the water to fuel the engine. And he was poisoned to death in a restaurant on March 20, 1998. So, as I said before, it's all about pretending to protect the national security. But in reality, it's like the definition of the national security is different for the general public and the elite class. For the elite class, the definition is all about running their business of oil and gas industry or the unsustainable and inefficient type of energy production. Any type of efficient system of energy production is a threat to their business. It's also an equal threat to the national security. And the definition for the general public is and that's what they are pretending to do. By the way, do you know how much the oil and gas industry worth globally? It's valued $5.3 trillion by 2022 and it's aimed to reach $7 to $8 trillion by 2030. And I hope you'll be wondering how they'll reach zero carbon footprint by 2030. Well, by reducing the population of cows, because the cows fart too much. As they say, only cows fart contain methane gas, which causes climate change.
You have stolen my dreams.
Fuck off. Not by oil and gas industries, it's about cows fart, causing climate change. And who knows, they might be coming for your ass. Over 6,000 patents are being classified in USA under the Invention Secrecy Act, which also includes some technologies like highly efficient solar panels. Not the one you are using on your home, which is only giving 15 to 20% of efficiency, but these solar panels, which are restricted for use, gives more efficiency up to 70 to 80% per solar cell in a solar panel. But they introduced it as a national security threat because they say that the military of an enemy nation can get advantage on this technology. Not the nuclear weapon, but an efficient solar panel can destroy your country. They believe. And when I've said that the technologies like antigravity and teleportation, which can be seen on UFO, is real, you need to watch these clips.
Do you believe there's an active disinformation campaign within our government to deny existence of UAPs, yes or no?
I don't have an answer to that.
As previously stated publicly, yes.
I think previously with like Project Blue Book, yes, but currently I don't speak for the United States government. The controller told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space. All four of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down a small, saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings.
And he's a former Navy commanding officer with first-hand knowledge of how the government is handling the reports on UFO sightings. This Invention Secrecy Act have three types of order. Type 1 and Type 2 orders are applied to the ideas and concepts that are already the part of US government, as like the government have the control on the reports of UFO sightings. Type 3 is also known as General Secrecy Order. This order is to catch a type of ideas, technologies or invention that aren't covered by Type 1 and Type 2 orders. For example, Type 3 order is used for any invention made by the general public, as like they have used it against those geniuses back in the 20th century. And the same goes with the international agreement of US among other countries. And what if I tell you that the existence of aliens are real and they are here, in or on the earth?
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And there are enough evidence in my Telegram group. If you want to know more about it, text me on X.